Good evening, everyone. I call this session to order. Before we begin, though, I would like to note that Terrence Walsh is the acting Secretary of the Senate due to Martin P. Jones not being available. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Would any senator like to lead the chamber in the pledge? All right, I'll do it then. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Secretary of the Senate, please call the roll.
Senator Webby.
Present.
Senator Ramsey Clark. Senator Ramsey Clark is absent. Senator Timothy J. Walker.
Present.
Senator J. City. Senator J. City. He stated in the chat that he is present. Senator Morgan Sawyer.
Present.
All right, Senator Jack Rockwell. All right, I guess he really doesn't like Wizard 101. Senator Lego Trooper Boy. Senator Lego Trooper Boy is absent. Senator Dakota M990.
Present.
Senator Matthew Charleston. Senator Matthew Charleston has stated in the chat that he is present. With 6 present and 3 absent, a quorum is obtained.
All right, now that we have a quorum, I'd like to ask all that. Does every senator have the agenda and have they read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Then we will vote on the acceptance of the agenda. Ms. Secretary of the Senate, call the roll.
Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Timothy J. Walker.
Aye.
Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes aye. Senator Morgan Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye. With 6 in favor, none opposed, the agenda passes.
All right. In that case, we'll be moving on to opening remarks. The floor is now open.
I'd like to request the floor, Mr. President.
Senator Webby has the floor.
I'd just like to say, first of all, congratulations to all those whom were elected to the Senate proper, and those that were nominated by the President and that were accepted by the Senate, I believe unanimously. I just like to say congratulations to you all. I'm extremely proud to be serving with all of you, and humbled that you have elected me as serving President Pro Temp for this Congress. And I'd like to wish you all luck in writing bills, and hopefully we can be as effective as our last Senate and Congress in general. With that, Mr. President, I yield my time.
All right, Senator Charleston has requested the floor, and he will be typing it. I'd ask that the Secretary of the Senate narrates his message.
I will do so. Senator Charleston says, Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
What a great opening statement. Is that all? Do you yield?
Senator Charleston also states he will be getting a new mic in 3 weeks. Terrence will be the best VP.
All right, he yields. Does any other senator request the floor? In that case, we'll move on. As we're moving on to items, we are voting on item 1, discussing it first and then voting. S1201, the Employee Rights Act of 2017, presented by Senator Clark. The floor is now open. If no one wants to talk, the chair will entertain a motion to proceed to a vote.
I'd like to motion to proceed to a vote.
Second.
All right, we'll proceed to a vote. May the Secretary of the Senate please call the roll.
All right. Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Walker.
Aye.
Senator Jasity. Senator Jasity votes aye in the chat. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye in the chat, with 6 in favor, none opposed, none abstaining. Item 1 passes.
All right, we're moving on to item S1202, the Municipality Act of 2017 by Senator Clark. The floor is open.
I request floor.
Yes, you do. You have the floor.
So I like this bill, the Municipality Act, but we have to take into account the fact that we didn't even have enough people running for the House of Representatives in the last election, so I don't think that we'd have the numbers to actually have a city council and mayor. And with that, I encourage my fellow senators to vote nay on this bill. I yield.
Senator Charleston has the floor. Again, the Speaker of the Senate, please narrate his message.
This should be great. Senator Charleston says, well, comma. We barely have enough people to run for Congress. And this bill is going to be a waste of paper. I yield.
Yields. Does any of the Senate request the floor?
Mr. President, I'd like to put in a motion to table this bill until the presenting Senate or the author of the bill is present.
Is there any seconds?
I second it.
Well, the bill is tabled then, I believe. Until, I suppose next session is when Mr. Clark will be here. With that, we'll proceed to item 3, S1203, the Military Benefit Act of 2017 by Senator Walker.
I request the floor.
You have the floor.
One thing I noticed about this after plenty of time while in military service, one thing I do not like about it is that within 3 months of reapplying, after, like, say, re-enlisting after you retire for X amount of time, you can reach E8 or E9. I believe we should table this as well, as the author should restate what he is clarifying in the bill before we actually vote on it.
Is that all you yield?
I yield.
Can you make an official motion?
I'd prefer that we set this aside and wait while the author makes changes to it before we pass it.
Alright, is there any seconds here? It's been seconded by Senator Charleston and Senator Pierce. In that case, consider it tabled. We'll move on to the next item. Item 4, S1204, the Electoral Process Regulation Act of 2017 by Senator Charleston. The floor is open. Senator Charleston requested the floor. May the Secretary of the Senate please narrate his speech.
Lovely. Senator Charleston says, well, good bill. I yield.
Mr. President, I request the floor.
Senator Webby, you have the floor.
Well, with that compelling argument made by Senator Charleston, I think I'd like to build on his case a little bit to help him out. This was something that back in the 11th Congress, former Senator Leo and now Overseer Leo him and I worked on in the Safe Campaigning Act, and I'm glad Senator Charleston feels the same way as we did back 3 months ago. So I'd like to encourage all the senators in this body to vote aye on this bill. This is something that we saw happen, or has happened in the past, where election season starts off extremely early, and it degrades away at an administration and ultimately hurts our union for early something like this to happen. And this is logical legislation for very common sense regulation. So it's something I believe that we absolutely need, and something that will absolutely help these United States. And with that, I yield, Mr. President.
All right, does any other senator request the floor? Senator Charleston has requested the floor again.
Oh my god.
All right. Senator Charleston says Webby is a good man. I yield.
I motion to proceed to a vote.
I second that motion.
We will proceed to a vote on S2 May the Secretary of the Senate please call the roll?
On item 4, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Walker.
Aye.
You don't have to do that, Grant. That's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes aye in the chat. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye. With a vote of 6 in favor, none opposed, item 4 passes.
All right, we move on to item 5, S1205, the Process Updating Act of 2017 by Senator Charleston. The floor is open.
I request the floor.
Senator Charleston requested first. He has the floor.
Okay.
Okay.
Senator Charleston says he loves you all. This bill is great. I yield.
All right. Does any other senator request the
I
floor?
request the floor.
Senator Dakota has the floor.
On a side note of reading this very short before the session, I noticed that it is something that we greatly need for the secretaries to go before committees, you make use of the committees, and announce any updates in their departments. So I advise my fellow senators to vote aye on this, as this is going to be very helpful for the departments as well as committees. I yield the floor.
If there's no other request for the floor, the chair would consider or entertain a motion to proceed.
I motion to proceed to a vote.
Senator Charleston requested.
Okay.
That was a bad idea, Grant. Senator Charleston.
My job.
Senator Charleston says, guys.
Motion that we
I
silence
love
Senator Charles.
filibustering my bills. I yield.
I'd like to remind the senators that force yielding is an
I
option.
motion to vote.
I'd also like to remind the senators that if Noosa sees this, what are they going to think?
I
in the
second.
national community?
I second the motion.
We'll proceed to a vote. Ms. Secretary of the Senate, please call the vote.
All right. On item number 5, Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Walker.
Aye.
Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes aye in the chat. Senator Sawyer.
Aye.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye with 6 in favor, none opposed. The bill passes.
All right, we'll move on to the last item, item 6, which is nomination 1201, and it is Arthur J. Hamilton for Chief of Staff of the Army, sent to us from the President. The floor is open.
I request a floor.
You have the floor.
I have one inquiry. Is there a resume for him, or no? This is open to anybody.
You have to request that from the president.
And the president is not present. Yeah, I yield the floor.
Does any other senator request the floor? Senator Charleston has the floor.
Senator Charleston says Arthur is a good man. My best friend.
What?
I yield.
All right, Senator Pierce has the floor. Are you going to talk, or are you going to spam and get kicked from the chat? Choice is yours. All right.
I request the floor, Mr. President.
Senator Webby has the floor.
To answer Dakota's question, Mr. Hamilton is more than qualified to serve as CSA. In my opinion, he's worked with the Army hands-on, and a good fit for CSA, and someone we need to fill the position, as he's not only active, but he understands how the Army works and implementing the proper divisions and needs of the Army first. And I believe he'll go a long ways in improving the Army in the same rights and respects that Mr. Ustinov did, or General Commandant Ustinov did during his tenure as CMC, and then proceeding to Secretary of Defense. But in my opinion and in my experience, I believe he's more than qualified for the position. To answer your question, Dakota. With that, I yield the floor, Mr. President. And
Thank you, Senator Webby.
Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to say that I know Mr. Hamilton personally, but I think we should send this nomination to the Armed Services Committee for further questioning.
You could motion that if you want.
Motion to send the nominee to the Armed Services Committee for further questioning.
All right. In that case, the nominee will be tabled for this session and sent to the committee for other purposes. All right. Well, that finishes out all the items on the voting, and the closing statements are here. The floor is open. Senator Charleston requested the floor.
Senator Charleston said, "I love this session. It's great to be with you."
Oh.
I yield.
All right. Closing statements still open.
Motion that we close the session.
I request the floor, Mr. President.
Senator Webby has the floor.
I just like to say again, congrats to all that made it into the session. I'd like to implore my fellow senators to beef up their attitudes a little bit and prepare for the community that you guys will be embarking in, and not necessarily acting like senators, but upholding the prestige of the upper chamber, and continue to act like the upper chamber during sessions. So with that, I'd like to congratulate you all, welcome you all, and I yield my time, Mr. President, and recommend we close the session.
Second.
The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Madam Secretary of the Senate, please call the vote for adjournment. It requires a 2/3 majority.
Or all in favor of the motion.
That works as well.
All opposed.
Aye.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The session is over. Thank you all.